All right, and we're rolling. Hey, welcome to Midweek Movie Club with Teresa and Annabelle.
Midweek Movie Club.
We don't have a theme song yet. That's okay.
Put it in there.
We'll put it. Okay, yeah.
Midweek Movie Club.
Okay, for our inaugural, is that the right word to use?
First episode?
Yes, pilot.
Pilot episode?
Yes, for our pilot, we are going to talk about gay holiday movies.
Tis the season.
Tis the season. Specifically sapphic holiday movies. I've only seen a couple of holiday movies with gay men.
We watched one good one actually recently. The one that was supposed to be kind of like the same concept as the holiday. Remember?
Oh god,
But
what was it called? Holiday Exchange or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that.
Okay, Teresa is a writer and very organized, so she has an outline of.
I
was just gonna wing it, but you have notes, so let's start us off, baby.
Oh wait, we didn't establish.
We are together.
We date
We're also in a relationship.
Not everyone knows us. Hopefully,
That's true.
It maybe one day people who don't know us will listen to this.
Yes.
And therefore, they don't know who we are.
For now, we'll have an audience of one, but so they'll probably know who we are. But
a fellow a lesbian couple. So
Yes.
who said that they would,
and then Ashley, we're counting on you to watch this.
or they'll at least tell us that they did.
Yeah, and not do it. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Just maybe the first
We'll give them a shout out, and that's how we'll know that they watched this one. Because then, if they don't say anything,
ooh, it's a trap.
But anyway, so yeah, I was gonna say we are lovers.
Please don't.
I mean, I studied literature and writing in college, and I work in marketing for a living. And Annabelle studied film.
Yes, and
college.
I do video stuff for a living, so
she's a woman of many hats.
I do wear many hats, but we're not doing anything. This is not like a very technical movie podcast. It's literally just vibes.
Well, because it's like one of our favorite things to do, to bond, right?
Yes.
Even before we started.
Bond. Yeah.
But before we even started dating, we
was to watch movies together. Yeah,
lots of movies, and I feel like now it's just like a regular date night thing. Either like going to the movies. I'm a Cinemark Movie Club member. Sponsor me,
cinephile.
Because we love the Cinemark. It's cheaper than AMC, and it still has comfy recliners, which is honestly the only reason why I go to AMC. Is the comfy chairs.
Yeah.
Or we'll just watch a lot of movies on streaming, or Annabelle's also like a big advocate for physical media, so she has a very expansive DVD collection. And
I could go on a rant about like movies on streaming being taken off and then just never heard from again, and lost media and all of that fun stuff, and nobody wants to hear about that. So
I mean, we can talk about that throughout. The importance of physical media in a world where archiving is kind of phasing out. The librarians of the world are kind of like sounding the alarm.
That's true, right? In terms of like physical media for all media, not just film, but also books, music, just because of the way that capitalism works and the way that streaming platforms work, if you decide to not preserve a film or a book that you really love in physical media and you rely on streaming, they could pull it off their service, and then that media, especially if it's a niche thing, like if it's a very niche cult movie and you don't have it on DVD and they pull it off streaming, chances are you're not gonna be able to find that again legally. Mm-hmm. So I can't advocate for non-legal means. I'm just saying legally, we've witnessed that with a couple of things recently. So and just personally, I've lost a couple of movies that I really enjoyed, and I can't find them anywhere anymore. So, anyways,
Which on a personal level sucks for Junie. You might see Juniper, or Junie.
My cat.
We're hoping she'll join us, but right now she's just swashbuckling behind the
Behind the
camera.
couch, yeah. She's not very friendly in that way. That's okay. I love her. My baby.
But physical media, I mean, it's cool. I think it's nice to own something that you really like, but also like it's kind of a crisis for some people who are now like in the industry. I think trying to like be like, oh, here are my clips, and if your project is like it never made it to streaming or they took it off, like it's literally gone.
That's
like,
true.
You have no way to like.
Your reel. That's essentially if you don't have a way to access your reel. Yeah, I think that's very real, right? All these people worked on all of these movies, and all of their work is just erased. So I think it's important to have my own personal archive of things that I love or things that are of importance to me. Maybe it's a movie I don't necessarily want to rewatch all the time, but it's a movie that I deem like historically important to like film to cinema history or something, like. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna watch Nosferatu every Halloween, even though I love Halloween.
Nosferatu.
But it is, well, that's not fair. I love that movie, the 1922.
Are we gonna go
F.W. Murnau?
Sidebar. Are we gonna go see the new one?
Probably.
So I had this conversation. Why do movies come out in the theater on Christmas Day? And then apparently, because I would never like. I'm from New York City, and one, I think I didn't realize, like, you moved to LA and there's just way more movie theaters per, like, square mile, I guess, is the way to put it.
Yeah.
You kind of, since depending on where you are in New York, you might have to, like, kind of go a little bit out of your way to find the closest AMC. But, like, I think it's for not just people who, like, don't celebrate Christmas, because that's obviously a significant amount of the population, but also just, like, apparently the movie theater being like an age-inclusive place where like while you're waiting for dinner to be finished, or I mean
family-friendly activity.
It's a long day, or a long holiday break where people are looking for things to do.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanksgiving too. Movies come out during Thanksgiving as well.
I guess it's profitable because otherwise they wouldn't do it, right? So.
Oh, are you?
It's coming out on Christmas Day.
Oh, Nosferatu. I mean, yeah. It's a family. Well, so Nosferatu is not going to be a family-friendly movie, but the thought process is there's nothing else that you can do that's probably open on the holidays, and you want to be inside.
Exactly,
yeah, you want to be away from the weather. You want to be inside cozy, doing something that you can enjoy with multiple people of your, members of your family. Maybe not children all the time, but, other people in family. Or found family.
Speaking of cozy things to do with family, like watching a holiday movie.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so for
the premise of today.
The premise of today, our inaugural... No, I keep saying that. No.
It's okay. It's
our pilot episode.
We are
reviewing sapphic holiday movies. That's too much. I'm going to cut that out. We're cutting that out. Okay. Anyways.
Sapphic holiday movies.
You have an outline?
Yeah. Well, we're going to start with the worst one. And what do you think I'm going to say?
The happiest season.
Yeah. We're going to start with the worst one, probably the largest funding, and like the most popular one. Like it's Hulu. Like I don't know if it's a Hulu original, but it was major Hulu release.
I'm going to be, okay, so here's the thing. When we talk about bad movies, or when we talk about movies that we hate, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad movie.
No.
It could be Happiest Season, by all intents and purposes, is a very technically well-made film, very well acted, well written, even though I hate the plot.
Yeah.
There's a clear plot structure, and nothing is like, nothing feels amateurish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as some of the, like, no offense, because I do like some of the other movies that we're going to talk about, but it does feel that way.
The writing and the dialogue sometimes is a little amateurish. This movie's not amateurish at all. It's very well made. I fucking hate it. No offense, K-Stu. No offense, Aubrey Plaza is in this fucking movie. Mm-hmm. Aubrey Plaza is in this movie playing a lesbian, and I can't bring myself to like it.
The actress who plays Harper, what's her name?
Alison Brie? Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No, Harper.
Oh, from San Junipero.
And you're wearing a San Junipero
Oh,
shirt.
shit, what's her name?
That you made. She made the shirt. Mackenzie Davis.
Mackenzie
You're right.
Davis. No offense to Mackenzie Davis. Loved her work in San Junipero. Did not love Mackenzie in this movie.
So I looked up. This movie got an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I think it's a very technically well-made film. I hate it.
It's got a good cast.
It's got a very good cast.
The same mom who's in Elf is in this movie. Who Annabelle thinks is a MILF.
Mary Steenburgen is a MILF. If you've seen her in
Elf.
If you've seen her in 30 Rock, she did a guest spot on 30 Rock, playing technically Jack's mother-in-law, but they are the same age because he married somebody much younger. Anyways.
Yeah. She's kind of mousy and like a little bit neurotic in this film. She has bangs.
Yeah, she has.
Not that makes her neurotic. I also have bangs. I've flipped them back today, but I've also had the straight across, like the intense. Like I almost had a Dutch boy bob.
You've had the oh god, what is the
the bisexual bob when you're like newly out.
Yeah,
and you do something.
If you have photos, I can share that
your hair
in my edit.
So I dyed my hair red and cut it really short.
I thought you were cute. I thought you looked cute, baby.
Anyway, thank you.
Anyways,
but yeah, she's just a little like,
but she's
frantic,
also so unlikable in this movie.
But I think it's also to create this kind of dysfunctional family environment. So I think like her being the matriarch of this family, charging it with this like really kind of zany energy, it was very intentional. It's directed and I think also written by Clea Duvall. Like all of the elements
Which
for
is
this,
insane to me. Yeah,
all of the elements for this like on paper sounded like. This is gonna be like this sapphic is a banger, heaven. Like coming out of the gate with a really great like for a genre that doesn't have currently a lot of like specifically sapphic or even just like largely just queer holiday movies. Yeah. We're like, this sounds amazing, and then you watch it and you're like, ooh, this is really depressing and tough to watch, which is like the opposite of what you expect when you watch a holiday movie, correct?
That's the thing. I think this has been sold to me as like a family drama and not a happy. I feel like the promotional material was also kind of misleading. It felt like it was going to be happy-go-lucky family Christmas movie, and it was not.
Do you think it, like, after watching it, do you think it was then intentionally maybe satirical? Like, it was trying to be like, it's called Happiest season. Like it has all of the right elements, and then it's just awful.
Well, I think it was done intentionally, but
so anyway, why do we
just not a fan?
Why do we? So another before we get to like this criticisms, more things we like. Dan Levy.
Oh, Dan Levy was great.
I rewatched this movie recently. You haven't watched it.
No.
Sat down, watched it since it came out in 2020.
No.
I recently rewatched it because I thought,
gives me anxiety.
It's on every list, like when you Google gay, like WLW holiday movies on Google. It's the first one that comes up because it's the most popular one.
Right, it has all the
in recent years, right? So I'm like, I'll give it another whirl. And then I watched it and I feel like it almost like was worse upon a second watch. Because I feel like I was noticing things that I didn't notice the first time and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then I was like forgetting things that happened. So Harper, Mackenzie's character, invites Kristen Stewart's character, Abby, to go home for Christmas. They had like a nice, beautiful day, and she's like, "Come home with me for Christmas."
Yeah,
and
very sexy kind of opening. I was like, I had high hopes for this movie.
And then like next morning, like almost immediately backpedals and is like, "Oh, I just got wrapped up in the moment. You don't have to." But then Abby's like, "No, I really want to go." And then so much so, like, Abby gets so swept up. Like, she doesn't like Christmas typically because her parents died when she was 19, and they had, like, a lot of Christmas traditions that she hasn't been able to do since. And so for her, the holidays, not the best. But she's like, maybe this is my redemption, which is also why it's even more devastating.
It's worse.
So she decides she's going to propose to Harper. And so then she's talking about how she wants to ask Harper's dad for blessing, right? And then Dan Levy's character goes, ask her dad for his blessing? Way to stick it to the patriarchy. Really well done. And then there's a time when like it gets really bad and Abby calls him because they're good friends and he took over some of her pet sitting while she was away because normally she would spend the holidays watching other people's pets because she wouldn't want to celebrate the holidays. And so she says like, oh yeah, it's kind of fun having a secret. And then he goes, there's nothing more erotic than concealing your authentic selves. Which I was like,
it's so good.
That's so good.
He's like the only aware character in this whole movie. Yeah.
And then finally, in like the panel,
How
like
fucked up
the
this is.
final holiday party where everything really blows up, he shows up to rescue Abby.
Yeah.
And like the mom of the family thinks that this is like
Her.
So they also think that Abby's straight.
Yeah. So.
And then Dan Levy goes like, do they know what a lesbian looks like? And then like they think that he's her ex-boyfriend.
Right. Yeah.
So he's like, yes, I'm Abby's very heterosexual boyfriend coming to take her back.
The Mackenzie Davis character, I don't know if we discussed the way that like she's not out, which is okay.
Yeah,
But
that's
then-
the whole thing. So she backpedals because ultimately she remembers my dad is running for mayor and I'm however old she's supposed to be and she's
Right.
still not come out to her family.
Right.
So she just invited her girlfriend to come home and has not done this very important thing. And she doesn't tell her this. They road trip it. They're in a car, so she's trapped. They pull over to the side of the road, and she's like, I have something to tell you.
Oh.
So then later, it's a callback. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, but like, you agreed to come still. And it's like, you told her when she had, what are you
Right.
supposed to do? Pull over to a bus station
Walk
and tell
back.
her to go home?
Yeah. She's supposed to walk
You
back.
didn't give her an opportunity. You didn't say like, oh, well,
I'm not out.
I want you to come home, but
Mhm.
there's this thing.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe the timing is not right.
Right.
But you didn't do that.
That's so unfortunate.
yeah.
Yeah.
She has one like man named Connor
Yeah.
who they dated.
Yeah.
And
Publicly.
they broke up because of the long distance is
Yeah.
what
She
was
said.
the explanation. And then she has a secret ex, Aubrey Plaza's character, Riley. They dated in high school, but like so she was her first girlfriend.
Yeah.
But like wasn't out, so they broke up for the same reason that they're like Abby and Harper are having problems right now. She didn't want to come out. So then when a friend of hers found a letter in her locker that was like a love letter,
Yeah.
she was like, oh my gosh, like Riley's obsessed with me. She's just like a crazy lesbian.
Oh shit! I forgot. That's why.
Yeah. So that's just like twisting the knife, right?
I think the expectation for me going into that movie was that it's gonna be a happy,
Yeah.
sweet, sapphic rom-com, Christmas rom-com, and it just was not. It was so stressful.
Mhm.
I don't think I was ready for that. And the lying and the miscommunication is one of the worst. Like those plot lines give me so much anxiety,
Yeah.
you know?
And ultimately Harper was like rewarded.
Oh, that's right. And the worst part is that they get back together
Yeah.
after all this. No lesson learned.
She has the opportunity to come out and she goes, what? Like, she's not my girlfriend. And it's like,
And then Abby takes off.
Idiot. Dan Levy is like, let me take you home. But then he's kind of like, you know, everyone's coming out story is different. He gives her this kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
this kind of like
Trying to
flowery
convince her.
speech.
Yeah.
That basically is like, in so many words saying like, maybe you should give Harper like some
A
more
second
empathy,
chance, yeah.
you know? Because this is her journey and it's different than mine. And I don't think
that's fair. I mean, yeah, yes, everybody's coming out journeys are different,
yeah.
but it's such a disrespect of her as a person and of her as a partner that I don't think anybody's obligated to forgive that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so they get back together. And so like
And that's how it ends.
that's why I'm kind of
And
surprised
you
this
never see Aubrey Plaza's character again.
no resolution. Yeah.
Why? You know what? I feel like that movie could have been saved if Aubrey Plaza and Alison Brie's characters had gotten together.
So this is a different theory. Everyone on the internet thinks that Aubrey Plaza's character Riley should have gotten with Kristen Stewart. Abby.
Yes.
But
okay. Fair.
Annabelle thinks that actually she wants the
Uptight.
Sloane, the older sister whose husband is cheating on her.
Right. I want the
Um,
neurotic, uptight.
Is actually secretly maybe also a bisexual queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And would get with Riley, who
Yeah.
they still live in the same town. For Midweek Movie Club, that's typically not in the rotation for us. And as far as would you recommend this for somebody else's Midweek Movie Club?
Yeah, I'll be honest and say I hate this movie, but you should watch it.
Okay. That's kind of the journey of Midweek Movie Club. So I kind of organized it too, like, we don't have to talk about this one super in detail, but last year we watched this movie called Lez Bomb, which is the same thing. It's this concept of
The Thanksgiving
I
one.
think like in this, we do have like as far as things go now in society, it's not like, the biggest existential thing. At least we're privileged in like to live in Los Angeles, where like coming out and just like existing is
Pretty
like
common, yeah.
it's a lot more accessible, and you have a lot more support. You might not always be accepted by your family because
Right.
that thing, but so anyway, like just this like overemphasis on like coming out being like, anytime there's a queer story and it's about coming out, it's just very like reductive, I guess. That's
Most of the time.
the
Yeah.
only like conflict that you can have as a queer person is
right.
like, no, that you also just like have like relationship problems.
I think in this day and age, it's kind of a two-sided blade. Is that the saying? Because we get to say, "Ugh, I'm tired of coming out stories," but I don't know. Maybe a decade ago, we would have killed for a coming out Christmas story.
So I'm not like definitely not totally saying like no more.
Yeah.
But so let me just elaborate again. So this girl is from like a conservative town in New Jersey, takes her girlfriend home for Thanksgiving, and then is like, oh yeah, I'm not out, by the way. But then like the way that this story devolves is like she has like a roommate who's a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Who then, I forget why, but he shows up at the house and then they think that he's her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so then this other poor girl has to pretend to like they're like pretending to date.
To be, oh, yeah.
Because to appease her family, and then like, yeah. So again, it's just like one of these like really zany, like dysfunctional family.
Yeah, but it turns out, it turn out the guy actually did have a crush on her or something like that?
I can't even remember. I don't think I would rewatch it personally.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like don't watch it.
Yeah, I'll never say that unless there's something especially like horrible or triggering. Then I'll be like, okay, maybe watch out for this.
Yeah.
But it's not my call. I'm not your mom. You can watch whatever you want.
Yeah.
These are just our opinions. That's my opinion.
Yeah. And speaking of opinions, I do have the next one is one that I think of all of the ones on the list I like the most.
Okay.
Looking for Her.
Ah, okay. Looking for Her is made by
Alexandra Swarren. So she's the director and also one of the stars of the movie.
Yes.
And so you'll find that like if you look up Alexandra Swarren on IMDb, you'll find that she's made and starred in like 3 holiday WLW movies.
Yes, sapphic holiday movies.
So she's done Looking for Her, City of Trees, and then Holiday Club, which is also another one that we just watched.
Yeah.
There's not enough critical reviews for Rotten Tomato for this one.
Yeah, it's very small. Like it's a very small, very indie movie.
But I
micro
didn't
budget.
really know this. Rotten Tomatoes also has the popcornometer. It has a 92% popcornometer rating. So Happiest season has 73% popcornometer, so lower than the critical. How interesting. Lez Bomb came out first. Lez Bomb came out in 2018.
Oh.
And Happiest season came out in 2020.
Okay.
And it got a 64% popcornometer. Okay, so my like reaction to it seems to be like a popular reaction to it.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
I think a lot of gay media, all different types of queer media, gets over scrutinized.
Yeah.
When you have fewer examples of something or representations of something, I think like the criticism tends to be harsher because you have just like a larger laundry list of
the
things
burden
that
of representation. Yeah.
To represent. And so I want to say that I think like way more bad, good, okay, cheesy gay holiday movies should be made, period.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will watch them even if I don't like them.
In general,
I will watch them. And I do think that like you should watch any of the ones on this list. Like I have, because what's the point? The issue with this is that people will be like, we need this, and then when it's provided, they're like, that's not good enough, so I'm not going to support it. I'm not going to fund it. And then again, these filmmakers don't get enough funding.
Right. And here's the thing, right? This doesn't say anything. These are just personal opinions. It doesn't speak to their skills as filmmakers. So,
for sure.
So what I'm saying is like, maybe if we all watched it, even though we hate it, it gives them a bigger audience. And next time on their next try, maybe I'll like it. Maybe I'll love it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the premise of Back to Looking for Her, it's just a cute premise.
Yeah.
So Olivia Buckle, who plays Taylor, Taylor is like this journalist, like in a
She
city.
works for a paper, yeah.
She recently broke up with her girlfriend, and she didn't tell her parents that they broke up, and she didn't want to really deal with it. And they were like, "Bring her home for Christmas." She goes, "Okay." So then she's like, "Oh, I need to take someone home for Christmas." So she tries to like go on a dating app really quickly and find people, and it goes terribly.
Yeah.
And then her coworker, kind of like her very nice, like kind of older coworker,
puts in a personal ad
called, like, in the title is "Looking for Her." Call back.
Yeah.
And kind of describing like actress needed to pose as like my girlfriend for the holidays.
Yeah.
And then Alexandra Swarren, who plays a character named Olive, who works at a cafe but is kind of like this like type B person who keeps showing up late to work. She's clearly there just to survive and get money.
Yeah.
But she's like an aspiring actress. So she like is one of the only people that actually responds to the ad. And so they're like, okay, they move forward with it. They go home together, and as you could probably guess, the fake love turns into real
love. Yeah, I do have to say, I think they have chemistry.
They were
actresses
great together.
Yeah, it was cute. I think even
right off the bat,
and
they meet the parents, and then they put up mistletoe, and then Alexandra Soren's character immediately goes in for a big old smooch, and that kind of sets
because they're supposed to, right? Like, but I think when they were driving, if I remember that scene correctly, they were driving and bantering, like trying to find out more about each other, and I think it was very cute. Like it's very much like there were definitely sparks, and they were trying to kind of like. They were like surprised at how well they were getting along, and
the conflict was low stakes. Because for my poor nervous system, I didn't realize how much I was watching content that was like overstimulating me, like kind of like putting me in a flight or fight mode.
Yeah.
Ultimately, like her parents just like thought that she had a girlfriend. The worst is that she could say like, "Oh, like." I'm actually single and I was afraid to tell you because I didn't want you to be worried about me.
Yeah.
Just like really low stakes.
And,
like her parents love her and support her no matter what.
The parents love the girl too.
So like there was never like a moment where you were like, I really hope this doesn't go wrong.
I don't think I want to watch homophobic parents ever again. I don't think
in a lot of these movies, it's so funny. You actually have the opposite where you have over-involved parents who are like, get a girlfriend.
Yeah, I love that. I kind of dig that though.
Yeah,
I think it's cute.
It's kind of a 180. It's sweet. Yeah. It's a little bit of a departure from it being like such an accidental thing about like confronting the very like concept of queerness in itself, and more so dealing with like more universal relationship problems, which is just like, oh, I'm newly single and I need to go home, or like I don't want my parents to be worried that like I still haven't found someone at this point in my life, and
yeah,
so, which is like, it's I don't know,
I don't know, I think, and this is a personal thing, but I think I'm watching a holiday movie that's marketed as very clearly a holiday movie. I watch Christmas movies to kind of like find something warm and cozy for the holidays. You know, I'm not looking for the reality of facing homophobic families or...
Which is, I mean, it's a valid reality.
It is,
for the
absolutely.
holidays experience.
Yeah.
True.
But I don't think I watch holiday movies looking for drama.
How many people are actually like Christmas tree farm owners looking for love?
Right.
Like, any other holiday movie is like not made to be like, this is cold, hard, real, like...
Right.
What happens during the holidays.
This is gay, lead tragic lives.
Yeah.
And honestly, why do straight people get the easy, cheesy love story, fantastical, just like things like, you know, an escapism, or an escapist fantasy, and then we never get that. Like, why don't we ever get an escapist fantasy, right?
Yeah. And also, like, Looking for Her, it's worth mentioning, it looks independently made.
Yeah.
So, like, the budget wasn't crazy.
Very small budget, clearly, but...
But, like, it definitely... it has this
heart.
cozy vibe.
Yeah.
Alexandra Swarren's character, like, loves sweets, and then, like, she'll make hot cocoa, and I just feel like I remember those
She's kind of a broke-ass actress. It's really funny. I thought that part was pretty funny, too. Like, she's broke and kind of a... deadbeat roommate
Yeah.
And her queer roommate is very, very understanding, but also getting sick of it. So that's why she has to take this gig. That's kind of like
Yeah. She
the
needs to pay
catalyst.
rent. She's like behind on rent. So that's the
Yeah.
only other high stakes part is like her financial situation.
Yeah.
But it's funny because then these two actresses worked on another movie called City of Trees, which was made like prior. So they made City of Trees. We didn't watch City of Trees, so we can't really comment on that one, but it's just like another holiday movie.
Worth mentioning.
The plot is basically, short synopsis, when a 20-something woman returns to her hometown for the holidays for the first time in several years, which is a common like thing in a lot of these movies. Like it's been a while since someone's been home. Not only is she met by people from her past, but she's also forced to deal with unresolved feelings.
Uh-oh.
So a lot of like former flames.
Sweet Home Alabama type stuff.
Sweet Home Alabama. Swarren. Again. Also, I liked this one. She also made, this is her newest movie, Holiday Club.
Oh, yeah. I didn't like this as much as the other one.
Looking for Her?
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit more cutesy. This one, I thought, was a little bit too slow for me.
So, yeah, this one, speaking of miscommunication, right?
Yeah,
So it's just a super long, slow burn in the sense that they were like, so I think the premise was that, did she live right next to the bakery?
Yeah, I think so. Like, she
Okay.
lived right next to where this other woman worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you start, it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And this woman orders like a party pack of like baked goods from the bakery next door. And for some reason, she gets it delivered to her apartment. And she tried to lie and say that it was for a party, but clearly she ordered it for herself. And then the owner of the bakery, who is Alexandra Swarren, whose character's name is Bailey, delivers it to Sam, the girl who lives next door.
Yeah.
And then ends up coming into her apartment. It's really dark in her apartment. Honestly,
a little creepy.
A little bit creepy. Like,
I would
clearly
not have
you
gone
know
in
that
there.
it's fine. Like, it's going to be fine because it's not that kind of movie.
Yeah, but I would not go in there.
But yeah, she kind of enters this, so
like
Sam, like, lives by herself. She's, like, new to the town.
Yeah.
But, like, clearly you can, like, Sam, like, there's this seed of, like, oh, I like her.
Yeah.
But Bailey, Alexandra Swarren's character, is dating someone.
Mm-hmm.
So
who's very neglectful.
Yes.
It's a very neglectful partner.
So then they resound on, okay, let's be friends. And then, well, actually, no, they're not friends yet. But then Sam, like, keeps ordering, like, every holiday she'll order, like, the party pack.
Baked sweets.
Yeah. And then, like, the next one, the St. Patrick's Day one, like, was delivered by someone else. And she was, like, disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so she goes to the pub, like, that's across the street. And then she sees her and they're like, oh, like,
yeah,
hey, it's you.
Yeah.
And that's where Bailey's, Alexandra Swarren's character. Sorry if I'm saying that too much. Bailey, her great.
Yeah, she catches her partner cheating on her
in the bathroom of the pub. What kind of deranged? Also, I want to mention this pub. Again, low budget movie, so not many extras. But the pub, I think, is also canonically, I think, supposed to be like, for in the story, it's not very crowded. Like, there's probably 7 people in it, and most of them are the ones that are involved in the plot as their friends. Like, they're in a group of friends bar hopping. This is their last stop on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. So you're gonna go, like,
cheat on some...
So stupid, but anyway.
Yeah.
But then, like, at this point, Sam had started seeing this woman who she had no chemistry with and clearly really didn't like very much. She had, like, met her on... So they just kept missing each other, right? And then they
that was crazy. They had that weird first date where the girl was...
They went on a double date where it was clear that they liked each other. Like, so Sam brought her girlfriend who was like, oh, I can set up Bailey with someone.
Yeah.
And then it was so awkward. So then they kind of kept,
convoluted.
Like, every holiday,
I'm getting confused explaining it, too. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. So it just kept going on like that. Like, they just kept missing each other, right? And then a new holiday would come. Yeah. And I feel like they didn't end up being together until, like, the next holiday cycle. Like, they had a fight before Christmas, so then they
stopped talking. Yeah. And then New Year comes.
They reconnected, right? At New Year's. So it's a little creative, right? Like the holiday concept. Oh, it's kind of like that Emma Roberts movie. What is it? Holiday? Like,
where they become each other's date for every holiday gathering at their families because but they're like random hookups or something, right?
Yeah, but I think it's the same thing that they just like don't want their families to harass them about about
not
having
partners.
somebody at their age. So but it's not like that.
So it's not like that at
But
all.
it's just like it follows like I think like it's kind of a kitschy fun thing to be like,
Let's get
oh
together every holiday or something. Yeah.
yeah, the holidays ground our relationship.
Yeah.
I still liked this one like more.
I enjoyed
like
it.
this is still higher on my list.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I would rewatch this enjoyably.
I don't know about that, but I enjoyed it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would rewatch Looking for Her again. That's the thing.
We watched Looking for Her last year, and then I put it on again this year. I was like eager.
Oh, yeah.
I was eager to rewatch it
That's
this
true.
holiday season.
That's true.
But yeah, maybe Holiday Club is too much. It was too slow for you. I think it overindulged the miscommunication, which I think is your least favorite thing.
Yeah, no, I know. I
To
just
see
watched that and I'm like,
play out.
why is this
'Cause
happening?
you watched it and like why don't you guys it doesn't have to be like this. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
You're both gay. What is stopping you from just
Yeah. But this is the new one. It came out this. So I want to also give a shout out to like Aria Vels.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
TikToker Aria Vels.
They're
who-
just on. They come
Yeah.
up on my feed all the time, and
Yeah.
they just have the best recommendations they give.
Oh
Like,
yeah, fantastic.
they were the reason why I was like, oh, there's 2 like WLW movies coming out this year, and it was Holiday Club, and then it was I didn't put it on this list last ExMas. I don't even remember it that well. I don't think I really.
You didn't like that movie.
It was like kind of like an interesting premise again of just like exes being in their
Reconnecting.
hometown.
Yeah, so she was supposed to go back to her hometown. She's an actress now, but movie starts off 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Movie starts off almost 10 years ago where tells her, they're both in high school. She tells her girlfriend to come over to this New Year's party. They make out, but then get interrupted. And then she has this crisis where she completely disowns her girlfriend and embarrasses her in front of all these people. And so they break up and it's horrendous. I'm like, this is terrible.
Yeah. Oh, now I know.
And then as adult professionals, they both come back to their hometown on the same opportunity and get presented with the key to the city. So you know how small this city is. So they both get
she
presented
was in a car commercial.
Right.
She was in a car commercial, and then her girlfriend was like
her ex. Yeah.
Or her ex-girlfriend
Yeah.
was like a decorated chef
In
on
New
like
York
the
City.
Lower East Side of New York City. So
Yeah.
maybe not exactly the same.
Not exactly the same level of accomplishments. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot more just like angsting over their high school relationship. And then her ex comes into the picture again, her terrible ex, her other ex that she broke up with in LA. The
yeah,
actress.
and then they got back together, and then like that girl like proposed to her.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
And then so she's like tying them both up, like, what are you, like, what's going on in your head? And then again, the behavior gets rewarded because, so, like,
she gets forgiven.
her girlfriend who proposed to her is like, okay, well, I guess I'll go back to LA, and
Yeah.
we're broken up now.
Yeah.
And then she ends up getting back together with her ex-girlfriend in the end.
Yeah.
So
I don't like it.
I think it ended. And I was like, that girl, like, she didn't really earn that.
No.
I think like what she needed was like maybe some time to reflect.
Oh yeah, no, that she should be. A lot of these characters should be single.
Yes. But so speaking of exes reconnecting, there's another one on this list, which I'm confused because it has 2 names. We discovered this yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Because we tried to rewatch it with
formerly known as Merry and Gay, but it's now called
Christmas with Love.
Christmas with Love.
So I'm like, did people get like all hot and bothered because it had the word gay in it? So they had to have a more like family friendly title. I genuinely don't know. Or like, is it just like, you know how sometimes like, this is a bad example, but like fast food restaurants are like called different things in different regions.
I don't know.
Is it just like a licensing thing that like it got released in Canada and then the US? Like, I genuinely don't know.
Is there another movie called Merry and Gay?
I don't know. Is there? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so a few interesting things about this. So this was directed by Kristen Baker, who also directed Christmas at the Ranch, which we didn't watch. I kind of sort of watched it. You fell asleep on the couch and I was working. And after looking for her, like Amazon Prime immediately served us
another
Christmas at the
sapphic
Ranch
holiday movie.
So I wasn't really watching it at all, and honestly I didn't quite understand it. But the premise of that movie is that someone returns to their family ranch to save it from closing, which is another thing that I enjoy, like the general holiday movie tropes, which is like small business threatening closure, someone must save it.
Yeah.
And then like she falls in love with the ranch hand.
Oh yeah.
And they're both girls.
Yeah. Yeah, it's essentially like that's actually along the lines of a lot of like those classic Hallmark movies, meeting somebody who's like rural and rugged and like falling in
That's
love.
so true. And then Kristen Baker, so she made
Marion Gay.
She made Christmas at the Ranch, and then she also made this other movie called I Hate New Year's, which has the same actress as the main actress, Dia Frampton.
Oh yeah.
Which we also unfortunately we didn't watch that one, but it's also gay. And just a random call out, it also has Ashley Argota in it, which I only know her from being in True Jackson VP, the Nickelodeon like children's show.
Oh, I never watched that.
So I was like, oh my god, she played gay? Cool.
Yeah, I didn't have cable as a child.
But Marion Gay, I don't have too many. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
I also a constant thing that is truly a struggle that comes up for us often is I make a lot of SpongeBob references. And
I didn't have cable.
But do you find it funny?
Yes.
Okay, like you.
Except that fucking plankton meme when you keep
there's this plankton meme that's on Instagram where like someone
photoshopped
photoshopped it where it looks like his lips are dry and cracked and he's like, oh.
Stop it. Make that noise.
Yeah, keep it in.
Oh,
and it's just like
Jesus.
It's just like the meme is just like, oh, when something unfortunate happens, like
minor inconvenience.
When someone sends you an email during the last week before Christmas or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
yeah.
Oh. True Jackson VP. Kiki Palmer's the star of that show, which I love Kiki Palmer. I wish Kiki Palmer would play gay.
Maybe.
She's coming out with a movie
Maybe she will.
in January with SZA, I think, is in it. I don't know what the premise is. I don't think it's gay. But also, who knows?
Who knows?
Anyway.
I think they'd both be down for that.
So this like director clearly directs a lot of specifically like gay holiday movies. Yeah. And then clearly she has this actress that she likes because she's like in all three of them. Yeah. Christmas at the Ranch, she has a smaller role, but she's like pretty much one of the front leads for all of them. She's the one who sings. She's also a musician. Like in real life.
Dia Frampton's an actual musician.
In real life. Andy Renee Christensen plays Sam. And they're like childhood sweethearts, and they haven't really like talked or reconnected. Yeah. And I don't quite know like what the tension is of like why they broke. I think it was probably she's going to New York to pursue her like
acting career.
Yeah.
Her girlfriend's or her ex, I guess, is very bitter about that.
Yeah. And I think like,
which I feel like, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of childish, right? I understand being upset about that when you're a kid. But when you're an adult and you're still mad that somebody tried to choose their career over a high school romance,
it feels like they're really hung up on something. And I don't know if you don't really understand the stakes fully either, I think is what I just didn't get. So I know we had a lot to say about Happiest season. I think it's just because I like we hate watched it so
you
bad.
Hate watched it. I have not seen it since 2020.
This one, I think we tried to rewatch it with our friends yesterday. And I think just the overall thing, like, our friend just didn't want to keep watching it. Our friend Ashley, actually, who we shouted at
hated it
at the beginning of this, I think she was like, I just don't like watching movies where I know, like,
the plot.
There's no adventure. Like, these people are going to get together, right? Yeah. And it's like, the answer is yes, of course. Yeah, of course. But that's the thing, like, all holiday movies, especially the romantic ones, like, they kind of all
the holiday rom-coms are all the same.
I guess that's the reward, right? That like,
which is probably why they ended up back together in Happiest season. But I feel like that's the one exception. That should have been the exception.
But they set up Aubrey Plaza. Listen to me, because I know you're listening. Because I know you're listening. I know you're watching. Stop playing gay in movies where you're just gonna flitter away at the end like a little like gay fairy. Does she get a resolution in that Marvel show? That
Agatha All Along. Oh yeah.
She gets a resolution, okay? Because I didn't really watch. No,
the relationship's actually quite important to the whole thing. It's a very
a
very contentious relationship. But the show is not a rom com. Agatha All Along is not a rom com. So no. You can't hold that against the show. But that is the one where she plays queer, explicitly queer, and the relationship is central to the plot. The tension between them is quite important to the plot.
And they were both girls.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to show our
Anyways.
cute little.
Anyways, watch Agatha all along.
Oh, for the listeners at home, some ASMR. We just have these cute little holiday mugs that we are drinking
Drinking
from.
alcohol out of.
You didn't
by
have
the
to
way.
say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're drinking eggnog. No.
Boozy. No, it's not eggnog.
But anyway,
It's just straight up
just
cider.
cute little. I have a little chubby little penguin wearing earmuffs, and you have a cute little gingerbread man. Anyway,
If
I'm
I'm
glad
getting
that-
progressively redder throughout this filming, it's because I have Asian glow.
it's the warmth of the holiday season. And then we just watched like a couple more like kind of Hallmarky type.
Oh yeah. No,
Um,
literal like Hallmark
like
or
actual-
Lifetime and Hallmark are kind of like competitors in this
Yeah.
field. This
So-
holiday, this Christmas, cheesy Christmas rom-coms.
So it really just means it's the same type of stories and tropes, but they just have more funding, so the quality, the cinematography quality goes up.
Yeah. The production values are higher.
Yeah,
right.
that's about it. They have more funding.
Yeah.
So,
So
which Friends and Family Christmas was
Friends
one
and
of them.
Family
That's the one
Christmas.
we just watched recently.
Yes.
And then Under the Christmas Tree.
Allie Lieber, who is in Friends and Family Christmas. This is a throwback. You know how old I am. Allie Lieber actually first encountered her in a show called Bomb Girls,
Okay.
where she played a lesbian who was in love with her best friend, and it was just so heartbreaking,
Oh.
and I shipped it so hard. Like, that was one of those random Canadian shows that I just found out about had, like, queer women in it, so I started watching it, but it's actually a very good show about women who worked in bomb factories during World War II.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, period
Historical.
piece.
Yeah, it's a period piece. The acting was phenomenal. Really good production values. It's a Canadian production. What?
I just thought of something. I was like, lesbians love history, but history doesn't love lesbians.
That's a good line. We should do an episode on historical period pieces.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true. Do you know this director, Ann Wheeler? I think I looked her up.
don't.
So she directed Friends and Family Christmas. She's just like, I think she's in her 70s or like she's
Oh wow.
yeah. So she's been like
Okay.
working on movies for like a long time.
Yeah, I love that for her.
And then Gary Goldstein and Tracy Andreen, from what I saw, like I feel like they were probably just like put on the movie. They have like a lot of holiday movies under their belt.
So I think Hallmark does that thing where it has writers that it will put on.
That's
a
the
bunch
vibe that I got.
Mhm. Yeah, so they reuse the same actors, you reuse the same writers, directors. You know,
So Allie Liebert,
who plays
Co-
Amelia,
co-stars with Humberly Gonzalez.
who plays Danny. Yeah.
Again, we were talking about a new trope in some of these like lesbian holiday movies, which is like over-involved parents.
Oh yeah. They Danny's parents were very involved in her love life, so her dad contacts his old college roommate because he also has a lesbian daughter, so they like try to set them up, and both the girls are like, oh, how could you do this to me? You know, let's just meet up just to appease the parents, but they hit it off. And I gotta say, they had chemistry.
They did have chemistry.
It was cute.
And again, it was like the same kind of thing as Looking for Her, where they were like, they actually struck a deal. So like Allie Liebert, just to get her dad off her back, said, yeah, the date went so great. Like,
Yeah.
we had such good chemistry. And so then like they kind of started like, okay, we're in this. Like we kind of have to milk it so that
Yeah.
maybe our parents will just like come off our backs for the holidays. And so it was fake until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Although honestly, I really think they had really cute chemistry from the first date. Like
Yeah,
it was
they
a bit
talk about horoscopes and stuff, but I
Yeah.
thought it was cute. The
it was
flirting was
friendly,
cute.
but it was like it was cute. So
Yeah.
like
They had cute banter. That's important to
Yeah.
good. I think that's cute banter, or just good banter is so important to a rom-com. Even if it's not cute, even if it's kind of antagonistic, that's how you test.
Yeah.
That's how you show chemistry in a lot of rom-coms, is the banter.
yeah.
Danny's
Danny's
character. Yeah,
parents
parents.
come to surprise her, and then she's like, I'm working on this stuff, like I don't have time to like
Yeah.
bring you around to do whatever you want for the holidays. And
Yeah.
so part of the deal is like Allie Liebert, who plays Amelia, is like, okay, well, I told my dad that we hit it off, but also like if you help me pretend, I'll
Yeah.
kind of occupy your parents, like
I'll keep them off your back,
when
essentially.
you're not like available, like I'll do stuff with them because
Yeah.
now like we're girlfriends, or we could be.
Yeah.
That one I think like is not my fave,
No.
but like middle tier, like
but it's that they had
would
good-
rewatch.
They had cute chemistry and the setting, and it makes sense in the world of the movie. I didn't have to suspend my logic or suspend my disbelief too much to believe that these two people could meet and fall in love.
Yes.
No one wronged the other, or no one harmed the other emotionally or scarred the other emotionally like a lot of these other fucking movies for some reason.
Yes. There's a lot of positive ratings for Under the Christmas Tree, which is the other one that we watched recently, which there's something about it, the way that they entered, where like one of them like really wanted something from the other, is where like that part of it kind of made me uncomfortable. So basically this one is funny because it's like the most, like if you ask ChatGPT to be like spit out like
the most holiday rom-com-y plot.
Yeah. So you have Charlie, who works for the governor of Georgia, is like on a mission to find the perfect tree for their like tree lighting ceremony or something like that. And so she travels to this like super picturesque small town in Maine to like find the perfect Christmas tree. And she encounters this woman named Alma, who is like a Christmas fanatic, and she has like this Christmas theme.
Her family owns a Christmas shop.
Yeah. And like the whole part of it, like it's so funny because she's like really resistant to change. So they spend a lot of money on this Christmas catalog every year, and they want to go, like their advisors are telling them to go digital with the catalog and like cut stuff to like save money. And she's like, no, Christmas gift wrapping, physical catalog. Christmas is Christmas.
Old school Christmas, girl.
And so part of that is like the tree that Charlie sees and is like, I want that tree for the governor of Georgia because my job, like I'm keeping my job.
She's a tree hunter, apparently.
So the tree that she spots,
yes,
right, is like Alma's family. They have a yearly tree lighting, for the community.
Yeah. But the tree is on their property. That's their tree. And Charlie really wants it. So she tries to charm the family into giving her the tree.
But part of that, again, I was talking about like they need to like save money and stuff. So the Christmas store is clearly maybe not in super great like financial standing.
Yeah.
So the parents are super on board. They're like, we could really use the money from selling you this tree. And Alma's the only one who's like, no. I stand for the symbolism, this what this tree represents for the community. I refuse. There's the loophole where like actually Alma, like they don't need her signature for the tree. They actually just need the parents.
Yeah.
And so like Charlie is trying to like earn Alma's trust throughout the movie, and then they find this loophole towards the end, and then Charlie's like, I don't want to do that, like I've already built this rapport with Alma. And then, you know, they kind of start to like clearly, you know, I think develop
start feelings for each
other. The conflict that like before the ending is that like Alma finds this out, that she kind of feels like she went behind her back,
right? Yeah,
about the tree.
She's been duped, bamboozled.
And of course, they end up together at the end.
Yeah.
Did you like Under the Christmas Tree? Just really quick.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
I did like it overall. I think like
it was watchable.
Yeah, I think maybe the part that I didn't like, just like, I guess from like a, I don't know, moral standpoint, which is not really good, but like just from a people perspective, is like how she enters it like wanting something.
It felt a little manipulative.
It felt transactional and manipulative at the start, especially that she was just like, oh, like she entered the gingerbread house making competition, and then they won together, and like it's cute, but like she's also trying to butter her up for a self-serving purpose. Yeah. And so I guess
was a little
like
self-serving. She learned though. I think the whole point is that she's very cynical, even though she's a Christmas tree hunter. She's very cynical about the holidays, and then she learns the meaning of Christmas. And then falls in love, which is true for a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
So
I think I've been getting a lot of recommendations from Instagram Reels. This time it was not from Aria, but it was from actually the person who made this film. I guess Brianne Williamson. Really smart marketing, because you got me. But she made this video where she was like, you know, top 5 like
holiday
like WLW, like lesbian holiday movies to watch this season, and she plugged her own like short film for free. Like you can watch it for free on YouTube. She plugged that at the end, and then I almost didn't even realize.
That was
I
her?
should have known. I work in marketing. I should have known, but I was like, oh, because I watched all of the other ones on her list for the most part.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, like it's for free on YouTube. Cool. Maybe
Mhm.
I'll watch that when I get home. It's like 40 minutes. So, but she was doing that as a marketing tactic on Instagram
Very
Reels.
clever.
Very smart, Brienne. But basically the premise of it's kind of funny. She's
Yeah.
like recently broken up with her girlfriend. She tries like a speed dating at a gay bar.
Yeah.
Kind of hooks up with someone in the bathroom just to
bartender.
feel something.
Didn't work out. And then she goes to her parents' home. They weren't expecting her to be there over the holidays because they didn't know that she had broken up with her girlfriend.
Yeah.
So they had this house sitter come by, and you can see where this is going. The house sitter was one of the girls at the beginning at that speed dating thing that
They
she
were
didn't get
about to talk.
Yeah, and
then they were like,
a chance
the
to.
event's over, bye.
Yeah. So they didn't get a chance to talk, but then it turns out to be the house sitter.
Yeah.
And because of this mix-up, this confusion, so they share the house for the holidays and slowly begin to fall in love.
It was cute. I liked it.
It was cute. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a free short film, so.
Yeah, and the writing was good. Especially just for a short film YouTube project, I feel
the
like
writing and acting were good.
Yeah. But we thought we'd end it with what we're going to call our fantasy IMDb, kind of like fantasy football, but like with making our own movies. So ideal cast, like if we could plug and chug like a director or like
a cast and a plot.
And a plot for like ideal like holiday movie.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to think in my head, and I feel like maybe a slight departure from some of like the tropes, because I'm thinking I love the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
And so we watched Santa Claus 2, which the whole premise of it is that like there's like a hidden Santa Claus or whatever that he needs a Mrs. Claus. Yeah. Otherwise, his time is going to be up and he's not going to be Santa anymore.
Right.
So then I was thinking, I was like, what if something like happened to Santa, right? Leaving Mrs. Claus like widowed or whatever. And then but instead of it being like let's replace Santa, like if it was a subversion of that and it's like you have to be Santa, and then like and then Mrs. Claus finds another Mrs. Claus, you know? Or like, can you help us find a new Santa? And then she ends up falling in love with a Mrs. Claus instead of a Santa Claus.
Right.
So going in a little bit more into the all of the ones that we talked about are more like romantic holiday movies, right?
Yeah.
So this goes a bit more into like the Christmas lore, of like the characters, which is a little bit more fantastical. Yeah. So I guess like leaning more into that part of the genre as opposed to like the rom-com of it.
I want a hot frosty with lesbians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was good actually.
It was
cute. Very silly.
I don't know about good, but it was certainly very cute and watchable. So
I've been maybe a little bit too hard on some of these movies. I want to say something. No romantic holiday movie is good. Like,
yeah,
it's just
they're not gonna win
it's amusing.
any Oscars.
It's entertaining. Like, it's not always the point to be like critically like
right, and that's the
acclaimed.
point. Well, but it's like it's a subjective thing. So I don't know about like technically good, but they're good to us.
Yeah,
we like them. We enjoy them. So that's gonna be a common theme along this podcast. Is that like there are a lot of movies that I'm reviewing and I know they're objectively not good, but I like them and I don't care.
Yeah. Also, I don't know, it just came to me. I think I want Florence Pugh in my movie.
Okay. I think Florence Pugh could pull it off. She's got the range.
To be a boss lady Santa Claus. Like, okay, Santa's gone too close to Christmas. We can't replace him. And then she's like, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then she falls in love with the Lady Claus. But who's the Lady Claus?
Is she old enough to be Mrs. Claus? You think?
I mean, Tim Allen, like when he gets recruited as Santa.
Yeah.
But then he kind of has this transformation, right?
Yeah. I mean, they could put Florence Pugh in a wig.
Okay, who's a MILF then?
Who's a MILF? Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman?
Yeah.
Oh my god! We didn't talk about Carol!
Oh no, this is a sin.
So not Nicole Kidman, but
Right.
another woman with an accent.
Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett.
Well, okay, the thing is, I don't think we
different type of movie.
I don't think we need to talk about Carol. I think if you know what Carol is about, or you've seen Carol. Everybody's seen Carol. So I don't think we need to talk about Carol. And it's also not a cheesy holiday rom-com, so.
What about
Kate Blanchett for your movie?
Yeah, sorry, but you said no. Nicole Kidman. I could see Nicole Kidman in like a...
Yeah.
But also Kate Blanchett
Yeah.
in like a Santa, like...
Kate Blanchett would make a hot Santa.
Mrs. Claus?
Mrs. Claus, yeah.
Like a fine... Like, is she the one who's widowed and is like, fine, I'll do it?
I think so, yeah. She's a
Okay.
take action type of woman.
Yeah. Oh, and then maybe, like, I don't know. I'm trying to develop the... Like, maybe she has like an assistant who's like, you need to find like...
A Santa, but
then maybe they end up...
falling in love, yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? Did you have a plot in mind? Do you want to go in a different direction? We could make different movies.
That's true. We could make different movies.
But then we split our budget, so we should really work together.
Split our budget?
Our fantasy football coins.
People don't split the
fantasy IMDb coins.
People don't split.
I don't do sports.
And fantasy football. You draft your own team. You don't have to split a team with anybody.
Okay. So let me hear your initial ideas.
Okay. Let's see.
Aubrey Plaza is going to be in it.
Aubrey Plaza is going to be in it. So,
and we're going to give her the ending that she deserves.
I've had thoughts about this, right? So they are exes. This, I know where this is going, but I know this sounds bad, but they are exes who dated in college, and then one of them gets cold feet and like makes out with somebody, and the other one finds out. So they break up in a dramatic fashion. The other one leaves, and she never gets a chance to say goodbye or apologize. So they move. They're on different sides of the country, and then like 10 years later, they're both adults and they both have jobs. And so you find out that like, oh, actually, their companies are collaborating on the projects, so they have to work together again. And it's like this whole tension thing, and It's very.
They're trying to compete each other to like maybe be more like
So there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of tension, and you can see that one of them is like trying to make amends, but the other's not having it. So it causes a lot of really like headbutting. But of course, because they have so much chemistry, you're like,
no, I'm sorry. No. I'm not.
I'm kidding. I know.
It's been a long day.
It's okay. So it causes a lot of tension, but of course, because they have so much chemistry, they start to fall in love again. And then the other one refuses, and so she tries to leave, and there's like a dramatic. I know we can't do airport scenes anymore, but there's a dramatic like catch up scene where she's like pouring out the apologies and all of the feelings that she's held in for so long and why she cheated, and they make up. And that's the only way that a cheating plot line can get resolved and the characters end up together, is if there is recognition of wrongdoing. Pentant, what's the word? Repentance.
Like penance?
Penance, thank you. What is that a Catholic thing?
Yes.
Okay, anyways. Truly somebody trying to be a better person. That's the only way that I will accept exes, especially after cheating, getting back together. Oh, and who would I cast in that?
Yeah,
Aubrey Plaza would be the ex who gets cheated on.
Okay, so we're just gonna keep slapping her in the face.
But she gets the upper hand this time, and the other one tries to make up. Yeah. Who would have good chemistry with her? You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to cast Allison Brie in this because they deserve to have an on-screen relationship.
Yeah.
So
honestly, yeah, their chemistry in Spin Me Round was off the charts, man. That was crazy.
I really thought they were setting it up to be them endgame.
That's why. And then she
disappears. Never gets the treatment that she deserves.
I'm into it. I personally don't have a lot of knowledge about like, I don't have a favorite director or like person in mind. I guess. I mean, Clea Duvall was
Yeah.
like.
You know what? You know what? This is fantasy, right? I want Ang Lee to direct this movie. He's so good at directing tension, and intricate interpersonal drama.
Yeah.
Ang Lee of like Crouching Tiger fame, but he also did oh god, Sense and Sensibility. There was so much interpersonal drama and so much delicate tension, and he's so good at balancing chemistry with like tension. Yes, he also directed The Hulk. Ang Lee is very multi-talented. Oh yeah, Brokeback too.
Ah, Crouching Tiger. Oh, Junie. There's Junie.
I don't know if you can see Junie in this. Junie, hi. Say hi to the
Say
camera.
hi. This is also Junie.
Hi, Junie. Oh, hi. She's like, no, Mama, no. Okay, all right. Oh no.
Don't show butthole.
Okay, whatever.
She's shy. The original Hulk. Did you like that? The 2003 Hulk?
It was fun. I was young. I was a kid. I definitely got the Hulk
Life
hands.
of Pi. You know what? I need to see Brokeback Mountain. I've never seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
Very sad story.
Yeah.
Tragic gaze.
Yeah.
The acting was phenomenal, though.
Isn't that always the case?
Phenomenal. Yeah. Shout out to Heath Ledger, legend icon.
Love Heath Ledger.
And you know what? The story I love most is when they were trying to get him to do a bit for the Oscars. He got nominated for an Oscar for this movie. They tried to get him to do a bit, like kind of like making fun of the movie. And he said no. He was like, "Why is this a joke to you?"
He took it very seriously.
Yeah, it's a very tragic love story. Why would that be made into a joke? You know what? Shout out to that man. It's always the good who die young.
Yeah, I loved him in we watched.
He's good in like everything.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah,
I watched that for the first time with you.
Teen heartthrob to
Knight's Tale. I used to watch that movie so much.
Yeah, Knight's Tale was so cute.
So good.
Brokeback.
The
Obviously, Joker. Yeah,
he did a really good job. I think his Joker is like people still. I think
he's the Joker to people now.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson, no disrespect, but I think Heath Ledger is most people's Joker now.
And where would it be filmed?
Where would it be set? It would be set in New York City.
Okay. Do you have New York City budget? Like, are we filming in New York City, or are we filming
No, we will be filming in Canada. I'm
like
being realistic.
Or Ohio. I think they
yeah.
filmed part of the Marvel scenes that are in New York in Ohio, actually.
Interesting.
They set up like decoy sets.
You know what? It could also be Chicago. I feel like Chicago's an underexplored setting for these rom-coms.
Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful city. Mm-hmm. So Chicago, and then one of them moves to LA. And then Alison Brie, who was very good at playing neurotic. I think she would be great for playing the person with cold feet who freaks out and cheats.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I really like Alison Brie, actually. I wish they cast her in more stuff. Aww. She's a mama's girl.
Well, she has two mamas, so either.
Okay. I mean, my plot isn't fully developed, but I think there's something there with like a boss girl, Mrs. Claus, who has to take over right before Christmas.
That's fair.
And then maybe like a perky, like head elf who is like so stressed out trying to find her. Like she keeps trying to matchmake her with like, oh, I found this eligible bachelor, and she's like, no.
Right, none of them are right for her.
Yeah, and then she ends up maybe.
So this is a MILF movie, is it? Oh, bless you.
Bless you, Junie. Oh. It's the winter season, guys. Drink your vitamin C, your emergency supplements. Take your vitamins.
Junie's feeling the effects.
Junie's eating her lysine supplements for her upper respiratory system.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who the perky elf should be. Who should the perky house elf be?
That she falls in love with, or
maybe I don't know. It's kind of another like lesbian movie trope for like an older woman with a younger woman.
Younger woman, yeah.
But yeah.
Why don't we just cast Kate Blanchett and Rooney Mara again?
Honestly,
Rooney Mara would be a good elf.
She's kind of a little bit. She's kind of got like a sad face. I'm thinking of someone who's like
face.
Margot Robbie, but maybe not Margot Robbie. Because,
like a perkier. Yeah. Huh. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got the Margot Robbie vibes, but is not?
But with more of a gay edge, because I'm sorry, Margot Robbie reads so
straight. I'm sorry. She's like Sabrina Carpenter.
I very passionately kissed Jenna Ortega, and no one said anything. No one doubted me.
The SNL.
The SNL skit, which is also, it was very funny. It's true.
No one is ever gonna think Sabrina is queer.
No. I like Iowa Debris just came to mind.
She would be so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, she would be such a cute elf.
I
Okay,
think so.
I see it. I see the vision.
Fantasy IMDb. What would you rate our
Fantasy,
movies?
Yeah, fantasy
on
IMDb's.
the popcornometer?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let
in
us
the
know in the
comments.
comments.
I don't know where this is going. So.
Call the hotline.
I'm so sorry for in advance because I feel like you're gonna edit this and be like, "Why is this 3 hours long?" But we had a fun time for our first episode.
We had a fun time.
And we had a lot of material to cover. Maybe
we also always have fun together.
Yeah. Maybe next time we'll do like we took on a big category today.
This is massive. Yeah,
it's a category, right? So maybe like I don't envision it
next
always
time
being
we should
like
talk
this.
about a specific movie.
Maybe Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Or we could do we've been talking about All of Us Strangers for a while. So that was supposed to be our first episode when we were gonna do it for Halloween, because that's, is this a spoiler to say that it's a ghost movie?
No, I think people know.
It's in the plot,
People
right?
know the premise of it, that like he visits his parents.
Yeah, he gets
like like his home
his
after
dead
they've
parents.
he's writing about them posthumously, and yeah, and I read I read the book that it's like adapted from. So maybe we'll finally do that episode. But yeah, we took on a lot of material today.
Yeah.
But it was about the journey, maybe not the final product, because this is new and we're just doing this for fun.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyways. Bye.
Bye. Wait, what is the little jingle that I was singing?
You sang it. I didn't sing it.
Midweek Movie Club. Manana, manana. Bye. Say bye, Junie.
Say, oh, Junie, my little gargoyle. I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but
she's so cute.
She is so cute.
I'm glad she came.
It would be so funny if this whole time the people can see her, so they think we're talking to an invisible cat.
Oh my gosh, no! This is her. This is her face, photoshopped on like a
pillow.
Portrait.
My birthday present from Teresa. So
she always makes that face.
That's Junie.
Say hi, Junie. She's like, bye. I'm Sweepy Eepy.
Oh, okay.